Welcome. The issue of online impersonation, becoming someone else, for example, in social networks, is becoming a problem that's getting a lot of discussion. My guest is retired Superior Court Judge in Santa Clara, California, and the host of the Family Law Channel, Eugene Hyman. Judge Hyman, welcome back.
Thank you.
So talk a little bit about what this means.
First of all, it's a huge problem, and the federal government hasn't begun to deal with it. And under current law, both state and federal, it would be illegal for you to impersonate someone. Let's say you get stopped for a traffic violation and you give somebody else's name and date of birth, that kind of thing. That is already a crime. And you could also sue if you were to be damaged as a result of, say, getting a false arrest or something of that nature as a result of that. But under proposed legislation in California, it would be both criminal, and you'd also potentially face civil liability if you were to open a Facebook account or a Twitter in somebody else's name, or post in someone else's name. All those things have great potential for causing damage to you individually, your reputation, things of that nature. And so that would be a crime. It would be what's proposed a misdemeanor, up to 1 year in a county jail for a violation, and up to, I think it's a $1,500 fine. Plus, you could also be liable civilly, but that would require that you would have to prove that in some way you've been financially damaged. Probably what needs to be done is there ought to be a per se assumption or presumption that if this has in fact happened, you have suffered some kind of a loss, and these losses ought to include reimbursement for attorney's fees and any collateral resources that you've had to spend in order to be made whole again. But it's a real problem, it causes real damage, and there needs to be a law to protect people that are the victims of these kinds of crimes.
So again, Judge, it's fairly easy for someone to impersonate someone or just create a fictitious person online. Can you talk about the issue here?
Well, one of the things that the law in California was concerned about was First Amendment concerns in terms of, is there parody, is there some kind of humor or something like that. So there obviously, when you have a person at that level who's running for president, that's a little bit different than your average citizen who is cyberbullying by classmates at school. So there has to be some concerns and some distinctions made between those two kinds of people. But if it's done maliciously with the intent of injuring or affecting the outcome of an election, then that has the possibility of being criminal as well and should be treated like that.
All right, Judge, thank you.
Thank you.
My guest has been retired Superior Court Judge Eugene Hyman. You're watching the Family Law Channel.